Okay, so we're going to begin by creating a nice simple drum loop for the track, and it's just something that's going to sort of drive along, and it's going to show you how far drums can actually go just by using just 3 or 4 actual samples. So if you go to the project folder and grab the samples, we've got some drums, FX, and vocals. Just going to get rid of some of the inputs here so that we can see the screen a bit better. Okay, so I'm going to go to the drums and we're going to grab from our devices, and we're going to grab the drum rack and drop it into a MIDI track. We'll just rename this drums. And then we've got here a crash, a hat, a kick, and a snare. So we'll grab our kick drum first and drop it into C2. We'll go for our snare next. So the main two, and then we'll go for a hat and we'll drop in a crash then just to finish. So this will be the crux of our sound. So I'm just going to draw in a nice MIDI pattern. We'll go for our kick, 4 of them, snare, 2 of them, and we'll drop in a couple hats. We'll bring our speed up as well to about 120 at the top left here. And we'll just make this a bit finer. So we'll grab a 1/32 so we can make our hat a bit finer. So something nice and regimented like that. And we'll shift our snare off slightly. So if you go to your fixed grid and turn it off, I'm going to grab our snare and move it slightly early. So we get that nice snap. And we'll leave our crash for now because we'll just drop it in at the end once we do the processing on these first. So I'm going to go to our kick first of all. And I'm going to keep it as a sort of our main bass. So I'm going to keep it just as it is, because I don't think it needs a lot done to it. Okay, our snare. What I'm going to do for our snare is just take some of the bottom end out of it. So I'm just going to go to live and I'm going to go to an EQ. We'll drop it into the snare. And on number 1, we'll just take some of the lows out and we'll do a nice sort of boost in and around about here, in the sort of upper mids. And then we'll maybe do a bit of saturation. Let's drop it in after the EQ8. Let's drive that slightly. So you can hear there, it adds a sort of, takes away, without this sort of processing there, it's quite sort of bottom-ended and quite almost muddy. And taking out the low end with the high pass, the saturator just brightens and sort of fizzles it up. Okay, we'll move on then. Our hat. We'll bring the volume of our hat down slightly. And we'll just do a high pass on it just to remove any low sounds that could be there. So just drop in an EQ8 and we'll do a high pass. You could drop in a filter as well. It's got a sharper curve on it, but we'll just go for the EQ8 and just bring that up slightly. That's fine. And then our crash. You can hear that it's really quite loud. So I'll just make another drum loop here. I'll just Alt and click just to create a second drum loop. And on this drum loop, we'll drop in a crash and we'll have it playing through the whole thing. So volume's obviously the first priority there, so we'll bring it down. and then we'll drop in a compressor onto that. And we'll sidechain the compressor so that we get a nice sort of pumping effect along with that crash sound. So if you go to the extended options and sidechain, and just point yourself back to your drums. So if you click on the drums, and then we can go and select our kick drum, and either of these are fine because we haven't got any processing at the minute. So we'll just go for pre, and we'll just bring that down, bring the release up a wee bit, and that'll just soften. It'll make it slightly longer, the sort of pumping effect, so that it doesn't come up just as quickly. And then we can make it a bit more severe with the ratio.